Good evening, one and all. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. It's Friday night in Hamilton, Ontario, and it's time to pick up the Friday night ZOE Ragchew. Our host tonight, Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India, will start the net at 8 p.m. We'll be monitoring the VA3 ZOE repeater. 443.075 is the frequency. Please stand by.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Friday night ZOE Ragchew on 443.075. Has a plus offset and no tones required. My call sign is Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India. My first name is Larry, and I'm located on the 10Oct25 mountain. It's an open and join the conversation. Please give us your call sign and your name. It tells you about yourself, your equipment, what you would like to add to the conversation. And before we start, I'd like to thank Terry, VA3IMW for the uses that a repeater. And please remember, using a repeater has very good coverage in Ontario, so no religion, politics, or foul language. And last but not least, please let the repeater drop so others can get into our conversation. Let's drop for a second. And thanks, Mac, for live streaming on YouTube. And I got a text message from Chuck. I'm not sure he's going to join us tonight or not. Around 4 o'clock, I got the message. He had just finished his back procedure, was not feeling 100%, so he thought he might, if he can, he's going to check in. If not, then we'll check him in that way. All right, do I get check-ins for Friday night? ZOE Ragchew, come on in, VA3LBI.
VA3NCA.
VA3IMW.
VA3MHV. Got 3, NCA, IMW, MHV. Anybody else checking in?
VA3 CJZ.
You feel like sticking around tonight, Chuck, or are you just going to be in and out? I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, if I could, just going to be a one and done. I'm just going to listen quietly. I'm not into chatting too much, so thanks for doing it and picking me up.
Okay, no problem. All right, I won't have anything for any contest for the weekend then. Not a big issue. All right, well, hope you feel better. I guess it takes a couple of days to get over that.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be putting a bag of frozen vegetables on my back because of the swelling, but I haven't done that, so it's a little stiff, but you know.
All right, yeah, a little bag of frozen peas, they work the best. Or corn. I don't think string beans are that well.
Yeah, definitely peas or corn. The best ice packs. All right, Larry, I'll let you continue on. Thanks. VA3 CJZ.
All right, Chuck, you feel like jumping back in. I got you on the list there. So, anyways, just going to mention just quite the temperature change. I don't know about anybody else, but we definitely put the heat on the house. Just a little bit, the chill off in the morning, and then not too bad through the day, so we can shut it down. But it's definitely a temperature change. So, all right, let's bring in Wade first. VA3NCA, VE3LBI. Come on in, Wade.
V3LBI, VA3NCA. Yeah, good evening, Larry, and good evening to all on net. The end of the week caught up for the rest of you. I myself took day off, so I guess my end of the week was yesterday. But anyhow, this today, what went on? Well, yeah, you're right. It got cold suddenly. So same thing with me. We put on the furnace today. So we held out until it hit 19 degrees in the house, and then we realized, oh, yeah, that's right, winter's coming, and so maybe it's time for the furnace to be kicked on. So it went on. Other than that, I also took the opportunity to deal with the impending shutdown of Windows 10, and I followed one of the processes online for installing or upgrading to Windows 11 past equipment that they want you to toss. There's nothing wrong with this machine except that it's old, so I didn't want to necessarily toss it, so I used the process, and it worked really well. I only had one sort of little minor issue, and I figured that one out. The new version didn't like something about one of my network cards, but reset all that, and it seems to be fine now. So that was I don't know. It might say something about me though if I took the day off work with computers just to work on my computer at home. Maybe that's not a good thing, but that's what I did. Anyways, back to you there, Larry.
Well, I don't know too much about the Windows 11 and how much it's actually changed things, but I know nothing about it. I have anything here that will handle Windows 11, so like I say, I'm very unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, Windows 11 is a couple of user interface changes over 10, but as far as I know, there's nothing seriously different over 10, 10 to 11. Nothing that I've noticed. At work, it's all 11, so I'm used to using 11 anyways, because that's what they do on the work issued laptops, and they come pre-configured with a standardized image. So don't have a lot of choice there, but at home, I haven't bought a new computer in a while, and I'm really not that interested in starting. Anytime I get it, there's a new machine that's needed, it's a work thing, not a home thing. This does just fine for me here at home. But with the impending shutdown of Windows 10 getting security patches, that wasn't great. I don't like this planned obsolescence stuff. So there's a guy, JensD_BE. I can post in in the Discord maybe a link. He has some really straightforward methods for doing the upgrades past the checks that Microsoft does. And these checks are just to make sure that you've got something new. They aren't actually functional checks. I mean, my machine works just fine as Windows 11 right here, even though I couldn't use just the upgrade button. It's all about just planned obsolescence so they can sell a new version, and I'm not interested in that. So anyhow, long story medium, it's about the same. The interface changes a little bit. It looks a little more Mac-like, as in Macintosh or whatever. So, but other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Interesting. I'll have to see somebody that's got it running, or one of the stores or something. Have a look at. Like I say, I'm very unfamiliar with it. Quick story for you. When I was working for a company, thinking about different things, working on machines and computers and stuff, and we brought in a bunch of new computers, and we put memory in them. And it was a contractor who brought them in, and he was coming to see how I did. Right beside the machines I was working, there was three of them. When he came in, he says, "What's the hammer for?" I said, "Oh, I was having a heck of a time trying to get the memory." But I said, "Boy, that hammer sure helped."
Yeah, percussive maintenance is what we call it. Yeah, it's often needed. But actually, the funniest thing is that some of the gear that we use is it's not consumer stuff. It's kind of industry stuff. And if you want to see somebody rough handle a piece of equipment, it's the techs from the company that are there to fix it. We've got some electrical equipment, but also some industrial electronics equipment. And when a tech comes in to work on it, they are gentle with the stuff. And it's basically because if it's just a questionable sort of setup, if it's right on the edge of breaking down, and you continue to be gentle with it, then you're going to find out it's broken, or it's sort of on the edge of being broken at the most inopportune time. But if you're just shy of abusive with it, just not necessarily delicate with it, then anything that's marginal you're going to find out about while you're working on it, and then you can fix it before you put it back into service. So it's kind of funny to see some of these guys, bang the stuff around. I guess the customer can't really do that because if they break it, then the company's going to say you abused it. But if it's their own tech, I guess do is save themselves an extra call.
Yeah, exactly, Wade. Well, I'll tell you, this guy, his mouth dropped right down, like looking at me like, I'm saying, I'm just kidding. I didn't use the hammer. Anyway, just a quick story for you. All right, let's bring in Mac next. VA3 VE3, I'll be like, come on in, Mac. How was the drive home there? The roads looked like they were really busy coming into Hamilton.
Well, I guess the red on the map was overstated. I guess my trip home included a stop at the hot chocolate store. So that's a little side trip just off of Hanlon Parkway. So I think what I saw on Google Maps was predicting an hour and 19 minutes getting home. So I left fairly promptly at 5:02 or something like that. And I pulled in the driveway at 6:14. So even with the little slowdown that we saw coming down the Clapperson's Corner Hill, and that was pretty sluggish, but yeah, like I say, with a stop at Sleeman's and a little snarl on in the area between the number 6 and 403 intersection. Not too bad overall. And yeah. And I've also booked off Tuesday. So it's my long weekend. And looking forward to rest and relaxation. Maybe get a couple things done over the weekend. No big plans for Thanksgiving. I got a turkey thon in the fridge. We got a bag of cranberries that need to be cooked down. I always like the good old fashioned homemade cranberries with the berries, not the jelly. And what else can I say? The pumpkin pie and whipped cream and all the rest of that stuff. Anyways, I've just since Chuck is feeling a little bit tender, and it was nice of him to chat with us on the way home as well, before his meds wore off. I did pull up contestcalendar.com, so let me just give you a quick rundown on the important contests. Let me drop. All right, the 1010 International Sprint is on right now. So if that's something that you're enthusiastic about, then go get it. Starting tomorrow, 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday, is the ARRL EME contest. EME meaning Earth, Moon, Earth. So that's a bounce. Also, let's see, the QRP ARCI Fall QSO party is a 1-day event. That's tomorrow. The Nevada QSO party is Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And the Oceania DX contest is starting, I guess, around 4 o'clock a.m. So it's a 24-hour contest, but it starts a quarter of the way through tomorrow's day. Then there's the SKCC Weekend Sprintathon, which is a day and a half. So it's midday tomorrow, which would be midday UTC up until 8 p.m. Sunday night. And then we've got the Scandinavia Activity Contest, which is a 24-hour event. It starts midday UTC tomorrow and finishes up midday on Sunday UTC. And that's pretty much the highlights. You can look it up for yourself on contestcalendar.com. And the nice thing is for each one of these contests, the title is a link to the rules and regulations. So contestcalendar.com for further information. Back to you, Larry.
Okay, thanks, Matt, for filling this in on that. And we got a couple on here on the YouTube stream. Where are we here? I saw Matt in there. Victor Echo 3, Sierra Mike November. And I see Geese in there. And other people I think have already checked in here, so we'll say hello to those. Looks like Matt's at the trailer. I think this is his final weekend. He's got to close up this weekend. So, and I believe Bill was going out to the trail this weekend. Today, I think.
Yeah, Bill made it a very big deal about him not being available. So he's coming home some portion of midday Monday. So he'll be MIA for the next couple of days. But nonetheless, and also another glamper is Albert. He's out at Turkey Point with the family. So it was interesting to hear him on the air on Wednesday evening, actually checking in person to Chuck's Net. And sure enough, he got the humor when I asked him what he got fired for. But it turns out that he booked off some additional days so that he could go camping for Thanksgiving Day weekend. And I think everybody is looking for some kind of downtime or end of season, get it all in at the last minute kind of thing. So this is how you do it. And my method was just to take Tuesday off, and that way I only have to deal with a pile of unanswered emails on Wednesday when I get back to work, which is going to be twice as bad as Tuesday. Anyways, so that's pretty much it. Nothing really radio related as far as what I got planned for the weekend. Although, you never know, I did get a package in the mail today that contained my Hamilton Conservation Area Pass. And obviously, it should pay for itself in nothing flat. And I've bought some extra deep spikes just so I can hammer them in the ground. Back to you, Larry.
Traffic notification.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
VA3WPG, Main Street at Whitney, has fire trucks and ambulance and police cars at the gas station. Someone laying in the middle of the street. Fire truck and ambulance are gone. Police are not letting people go from Ancaster towards down Main Street West towards Osler Boulevard. You are being made to make a right turn and diverted on Whitney Street down. I don't know where it goes past there, but there's buses lined up on Whitney Street, and the police are not letting anybody go. I guess that would be north on Main Street past Whitney. You will be making a right turn on Whitney.
Okay, thanks very much, Chris. Appreciate that. I got you checked in here. I take it you're outside there on handheld.
Yeah, QSL. I'm just heading back to the base station now. Probably, check in when I'm back home. I'm like 4 minutes home. Just thought I'd throw that out there because, you're not going to get down Main Street West past Whitney.
Okay, very good, Chris. Appreciate that. Mac, anything else before I pick up Mark?
Let's say that's enough for this round, and we'll see what happens with the discussion as it goes. Thanks again for doing this one, Larry.
Okay, thanks very much, Mark. All right, VA3MHV, VA3LBI. I haven't heard from you for a while. Mark, come on in.
VA3LBI, VA3MHV. Good evening, Larry. Good evening, Mac. Good evening, Wade, and everyone else on frequency listening. Not too much going on, Larry. Over here, a little bit of radio action, but roger that on the temperature change. Oh my goodness, it's like fall has arrived. We can wait for winter. I'm scheduled in this weekend, so I was home today, usually off the day before. Unfortunately, NFG and I will be in for a couple of days. I did have Steve over here today, and we were playing with my new little mobile radio. I got a little Retevis or Retrovis RT95, and we managed to program in about 30 repeaters, all the local ones in the area and GTA. So that went pretty well, and I'm talking to you on it right now. So how you hearing me? Back to you, Larry.
clear, crisp. I'll tell you what, I don't know, I haven't heard you on for a bit, so about a week ago, I think it was, you keyed up on a frequency on 40. I was calling or waiting to call somebody, and I looked at my meter, and the thing shot up to like plus 30. I've never seen that happen. So your base is doing good over there.
Yeah, roger that. I had the exact same scenario one afternoon, or I forget if it was afternoon or evening, when we were both monitoring the same guy on POTA, and then you shot in there and gave him a call, and holy, I had to reach for my volume. Yeah, it was, we're pretty close proximity, so if anybody keys up that's on the same frequency, this close, yeah, wow. Anyway, everything else is going well, except for I have to go into work for 2 days, but it is what it is. Yeah, this radio, I'm pretty happy. I just wanted a UHF VHF other than the handy talkie for the base shack, and it can always be made mobile later, so it's going pretty good, Larry. Back to you.
What's the output wattage like on it, Mark? You got like 3 settings, or is it just one complete set? What have you got for output for wattage?
Yeah, it has a high, medium, low. It'll go 5 watt, 15. And they call it 25, but as you guys all know, there's a bit of loss there. So I forget which is which, but either 70, you get about 23, and the other one drops to 18 when you're on 6. So, or sorry, 2 meter. It drops to 6, 18. So, you know, it's still a lot more than I would ever have on a handy talkie. So I should be able to get into more repeaters than I could before. So high, medium, low. Right now it's on medium, 15.
Well, no issue here at all. Hearing you, I don't check people on reverse. Maybe Mac, you got a second there. Key it up, Mac. What do you look like in reverse on 15 watts coming your way?
He's an S5 over here, and I already checked.
There you go, Mark. So you're an S5 across the hill, over to the westbound.
Roger that, and that's great. I think I have a few more watts there if I needed them, and I probably don't for this sort of situation. Medium is more than enough. You could probably hear me no problem on low. So anyway, back to you, Larry. I'll let you pick up any others that might be waiting.
To be honest with you, Mark, I run mine on low all the time. I'm running about 4 watts right now. The only time I bring it up any higher is if we have any nuisance in there. So, yeah, I don't run it on medium. And like I say, I'm pushing out right now 4.01 wattage. Well, went up to 2, thereabouts. So that's all I bring out the little radio. This is a Kenwood. You don't think you can buy them anymore. I got one of the last ones from our local. No, I think this one came from CPS General or CPS Central. CPS Central out west. I got that from there.
Is that a 710?
No, it's a TM Tango Mike Dash Victor 71.
An ancient predecessor of the 710.
Yeah, it's dual band though, completely dual band. So you can actually, it's got dual VFOs in them, like 2 VFOs completely.
All right, thanks for letting me jump in.
Again, you don't have to push it, that's for sure. I mean, you got the antenna does the work, and the radios are just in behind it.
Roger that.
All right, let's see if anybody else wants to check in tonight. Friday Night ZOE Ragchew. Come on in, VE3LBI.
VA3WPG.
Okay, Chris, are you back home?
I am back home on the base station. Traffic is flowing, but there's still police at the gas station. No idea what happened, but yeah. No HF today. First radio, and yeah, dropping a check-in. I'm home and listening along now.
Okay, very good. Yeah, there's, I don't know, with some procession apparently going on yesterday. I don't know anything about it. Must have been somebody in town here that was apparently across the lake. They had the police cars and motorcycle cops with some vehicle. I don't know what was going on. Anybody have any idea what it was about? Oh, I guess not. I don't know. Something was going on. They were going across the link. I don't know whether it was an actor or some dignitary or whatever, but anyway, something was going on. So. All right. Anything else, Chris?
Yeah, just a quick little thing. I guess I switched to high power. My bike a while ago. Well, it's haven't replaced a clutch cable for a while. I felt it stretching out over the past while. Got home today, and the rest of the threads and the twisted cable snapped. And just as I got home, it snapped all except 3 strands, and got it parked in, got my clutch cable changed today, brand new cable in there. Bought it a couple months ago, just haven't put it in. And something was on my side today, because normally with my luck that would have snapped at Tim Hortons, but luckily it snapped just at home today, so something was with me today. Anyways, VA3WPG, just an interesting story. Good timing. So send it back and keep it going. Listening along. VA3WPG.
Yeah, okay, Chris. Yeah, we had a circumstance with an old, what was it, Volkswagen? What was it my brother had? That's what it was. Station. It was one of those small station there. What was it? I forgot the name of it. Anyways, it was a Datsun, and I guess a small station wagon. And they were always using the clutch was always fluid driven. Well, I guess there wasn't enough fluid, so we got at the light, and like, what do? And the truck driver rolled down his window and says, put it in the second gear and start it and keep on going.
Push start.
That's how we got it started. Yeah, anyways, that's kind of a funny, that's many years ago when I was, well, I wouldn't say a kid, but my teenagers time, so. All right, anybody else checking into their Friday night ZOE Ragchew, come on in, VE3LBI. We got a very quiet night tonight, gentlemen. All right, I don't really have anything to talk about. If anybody's got anything they want to throw at the table, go ahead.
Check in.
All right, we need to qualify.
VE3, every kind of junk. I had to scurry back. Sorry about the delay there, Larry. I got a coffee ruined in the pot.
No problem, Bill. Yep, have you got your coffee in your hand yet, or is it still cooking?
It just beeped.
Grab your coffee, put your cream in it, milk and sugar, whatever you need, and come on back and sit down and we'll have a little talk. All right, I'll pass it back up to Wade, see what else we got here, Wade, because we got a real small group tonight, so like I said, I don't really have anything to put on the table for talking. I know you guys, I haven't heard actually Bonnie in for a bit. He might be back on afternoons. I see you've been working on a lot of projects with different things that are, I see them on the Discord site, Wade.
V3LBI, VA3NCA. Yeah, I always have something in my on my pile that I'm looking at. Can't remember now what it was. You might have seen some of my tests against the bot on Discord, just because I was redigging and upgrading some of my machines here and wanted to make sure the bots didn't suffer for it. I did add, when we got to talking about some of the antenna efficiency stuff, if anybody knows about LATEX, LATEX, that's a typesetting system that it's often used in academic papers for typesetting, like formulas and non-regular typing. It's quite good at that. And I know from a different Discord I'm on that it really helps in writing out formulas. So I added that to our Discord just in case somebody wants to get something across and wants to use a formula to do it. So that's now installed. As far as other things to wonder, Prime Day ends tonight, so I'm wondering if anybody got any good deals on Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day. I'm not buying nearly as much as I used to from Amazon these days, but anyways, nonetheless, they do have some pretty good deals. Mark reminded me, because Redevis is one of those companies that is got decent discounts for their devices, their radios and other components on Amazon, including that RT95. Looks like kind of a nice, a pretty nice mobile radio. So that I've seen. I also saw a battery, a little smaller in capacity than the ones that we bought about a year ago, the DC house that we bought a year ago. It's only 20 amp hour, but that's still pretty good. And it's a fairly good size, smaller and lighter than what we got. So if anybody's in the market for that, I think I saw it at $75. I don't know anything about the brand, but the specs seem reasonable, and the cost of $75 sounds decent as well. And the other thing I saw, I don't recall right now. Anyways, just wondering maybe if people have been seen anything on Prime Days, or if they got anything. Back to you, Larry.
Yeah, I just had a quick look. I actually have a question for you too, Wade. I was looking at it. Yeah, it's a nice looking battery there. That's all I have. I have a 20 amp battery. That's all I've ever used. Question for you. Behind your name, there is a lightning bolt and it says VE. Where did that come from, please? On Discord.
Well, that's an interesting thing. It's a fairly new feature of Discord, and the only thing I don't like about it is trying to remember. I'm stalling for time to try to remember what they called the feature, because at one point I knew. But anyways, the only thing I don't like about it is Discord wide. So I got the Lightning Bolt VE because I'm on a VE server for volunteer examining in the States. Because of course in Canada we call us AEs, amateur examiners, but they don't have one of those tags. I think they call them a Discord tag. It'll come to me. Anyhow, at one point in time I got a pop-up that said, hey, do you want to adopt this tag? And so I clicked it, and now ever since it's been attached to my name. You can only hold one though, so if you get multiple invites, it's whichever one you picked last that you get. I'm going to go dig around and find out where it is that you find it if the pop-up doesn't happen, because I know you can do that elsewhere in the system too. But that's what it is. It's just a little gimmick that they came out with maybe 2, 3, 4 months ago, semi-recently.
I wonder if we could do something with that with the HPO. The reason I'm asking is mine has a lightning bolt, and mine says Alpha Romeo Oscar Charlie, which is the other group that I joined, and it automatically put it on there. I did find a way to remove it. Don't ask me right now how to do it because I don't remember. But I just wonder if we could put a lightning or something like that on the HPO group.
Could be. I'll have to take a look. It might require that you do what they call boosting the server, which means somebody who has like Nitro, which is the cost version of Discord. It buys you certain features, and one of the features it comes with is the ability to boost a server, and then you boost the server, and then I think you get other perks like that. That tag is called a server tag. I just found it, and if you go to, so I guess where is it that I got mine from? I guess. Oh, it must be from the. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like it's a server tag. So if you go into whichever Discord you're looking at, as I stall for time to find ours. Yeah, ours isn't boosted, so ours doesn't show up. But if you go to the top of Hamilton Toda Group pull down or click button there, you see a list of them. And one is server boost, and then right underneath that, if you have a server tag, is the ability to choose that server tag. So AROC, the Amateur Radio Operators of Canada, if you go to that one and click on the top, you'll see that server tag as the second item. So I think that's where that comes from. But now you got me curious to how you set that up. So I'll go do some Googling.
was just something that actually Dave asked me about at VA3CP. He said, how come you got that lightning bolt, A-Rock? Well, that came from that other, and I didn't do anything, it just automatically went on there, from the other group there, that amateur radio operators, amateur radio operators of Canada. It came from there. So when I signed into it, I just automatically got that tag to my name.
Yeah, I wonder if, so I've seen it pop up too, but I had to click the pop-up, but it was pretty easy to do, because I clicked the one for VE a long time ago, and then when I switched, I got one for Toads. If you know the Toads guys, they're the other YouTube channel, and they have one for Toads. And I suddenly became a Toad for some reason, and that wasn't, what I was interested in. So I figured out how to switch it back to the VE one. You may notice right now, you can only hold one at a time. So I just went back to Amateur Radio Operators Canada and got the A-Rock, and it changed my tag everywhere. So even when I go back to the HPG group, it still now says Lightning Bolt A-Rock. So that's the only thing I like about it. It would be nice if you could adopt it per server, but I guess it's all across all your Discords. It shows up. So I'm not sure which one I would put it back to, but anyways, yeah, you can pick and choose them from whichever Discord you're in that already have it. But I think that the Discord, I'm going to look into it, but I think the Discord has to be boosted, what they call boosted first.
Okay, I was just interested. Be interested if you get one for the HBO group. So anyway, just a thought. I ran across it. I'm going. I knew where it came from because I know that like the A-Rock, but I didn't know why. So it must have automatically tagged it. I do not remember anything being asked me about it. Although I may have missed it, and if you want to add this, and I might have missed it. I did find a way to remove it. Again, I don't remember where. Probably under settings somewhere. I could take it out, but which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess the other thing you can do without having to visit the server, I just found it. If you go to your own profile, then about halfway down, if you scroll the page down, about halfway down, you'll see a section to choose a server tag. And it's a pull-down list, and you can see all of the ones that are available to you, and you can pick the one that you want from the list. But it's always one at a time, it seems.
Gotcha. Okay, no problem. Like I say, it was just interesting. Now, if you do get some time and have a chance to see if there is possibly a way to create one or not without having to boost the server.
Yeah, I'm going to do that research right now.
Okay, not a problem. All right, Mac, what else you got for us tonight? VA3IMW, VA3LBI. Come on back in.
All righty. Thanks, Larry. And yeah, I guess I can share my best deal for Amazon Prime. I bought absolutely nothing, and I let my 30-day Prime free trial expire. So the best way to save money is not to spend any at all. But Wade's also reminded me of some questions I had with regard to his monstrously productive experimental antenna. I think he had some additional work to do because in improving it, he said he broke some of it, and obviously some of the bands didn't work as well. I got to tell you, for 10 meters, it was the cat's meow. So I'm just wondering if we can bring Wade back in and maybe just describe why it works so damn well on 10 meters, and what else he has to go back and unfix so that it works on the other bands. I think that's a good topic.
Yeah, go ahead, Wade.
All right, yeah, VA3LBI, VA3IMW, VA3NCA. Yeah, that's a fun antenna. It's by our buddy Greg Meehan, is that his name? Yeah, KJ6ER out in California. It's his Challenger antenna, and it's effectively an off-center fed half-wave vertical. So it is limited to about 20 meters is about the longest you're going to be able to get out of it, but all the way up to 6 meters is what it goes to. And the reason for that is a half-wave gets pretty long to go vertically after a while. So that's kind of its limitation, but Greg has some really good presentations where he goes through the theory about his three main antennas, the Performer, the Dominator, and the Challenger, this one being the Challenger. He goes into really good detail on the theory behind it, but in short, the Challenger has a really low takeoff angle, and part of his design goals is he wants it to, number one, be very efficient, number two, to be portable, and number three, trying to remember. But anyways, he has three design goals, and he feels that these antennas meet them all, and the Challenger gets 90-some-odd% efficiency for radiating. He has a really good discussion about antenna efficiency being the radiation resistance over the total resistance. And so to increase the efficiency of an antenna, what you're really looking at doing is, on the one hand, reducing loss to whatever the lowest practical is, and on the other hand, increasing the radiation resistance. You can't really do that too much except for choosing different antennas, but one of the ways to do that is shift the feed point away from the center towards one end. Ideally the end fed is a very high radiation resistance, and so that's another way you can play with these things. I'll let it drop. Anyways, it's much easier to, I'll post a link if I didn't already. Did I? I'm not sure, but I'll post a link to his presentation. It's really, really very good, and the antenna's a blast to play with. I have two versions in mind. The one I brought with me, which worked well on 10 meters, is very close to what he described, except that I cheated on a shorter whip by using the sections of the Pac-12, because then I could get away with a shorter whip than what he bought. But the other one I'm playing with is a wire, so that I can roll it up onto a winder and I can take it portable. It'd be much more portable at QRP levels than just throw a wire in the tree with links for the length that you need. So those are my two versions of this Challenger. Fun radio, or fun antenna. And I think honestly what I messed up was I probably, when I folded up the two cores for the 4-to-1 Balun, the 4-to-1 Balun for a current Balun requires two cores. And I think when I folded them over on each other, I think I probably messed up their response.
Okay. Obviously, the key point there that I'm really scratching my cranium on is how you make a vertical off-center fed. And I'm sure Greg's presentation will bear that out, but maybe that's something you can describe just to settle my gray matter down.
Yeah, for sure. He's brought the off-center fed feed point is elevated, so all of his antennas are elevated. That's another point that he makes in his presentation. So his end fed half wave, his quarter wave, and his off-center fed. In all cases, he raises them 2 or 3 feet up off the ground. So the short leg of the off-center fed part, you would be forgiven if you mistook it for a countervoice, because that's what it kind of looks like. So you just think off-center fed, but pull the center down to within a couple foot of the ground. And the reason why all of his antennas are elevated is because in his presentation as well, he talks about how radios on the ground have a very low resistance to ground because they're on the ground. And so therefore they have a pretty high loss resistance, which is one of the things he's trying to minimize. And raising them up just a few inches to a couple feet, you significantly drop the loss resistance of those radials. And on the ground, which he says is super convenient, but it's also a little lossy, and he doesn't want that loss, so he raises them up. But then, of course, it's inconvenient to have to suspend your radials, especially on a portable. So he trades off again with his end fed and his off-center fed end fed. He trades off by allowing the radial to sort of like diagonally drop down to the ground and eventually land on the ground. And the reason why that's okay is because end fed and off-center fed, the center feed point where the current is the highest is not on the ground, and the current being the highest close to the ground is where the loss comes from. So anyways, it's very interesting. It's a great presentation. He's done it a bunch of times, and it's always kind of the same presentation, so any of the ones on YouTube will be very good. I'll post the one that I watched.
All right. Very good description, Wade. Thank you very much. And it also brings back to mind the variation in the setup I've had to use with my Pac-12. I've had days where the ground is very dry, and I can throw that antenna up, and as Chris can attest to, you'll come back and test your match, and it's flat like 1 or 1.1 to 1. But there's other days where you set up and you do notice, well, maybe the ground is a little bit more moist. It's a little bit more conductive, and there's a certain, certain reactivity between the ground radials and the earth itself. So things maybe don't come back in line. So it affects SWR, not certainly not resonance, but it kind of makes sense. So I guess part of the cheat would be to use 2 or 3 lengths of the Pac-12 aluminum rods and raise your feed point up 2 to 3 feet above ground, and then use your vertical antenna. And you'll have to come back and let me know what the whip length is. I do have a 17-foot telescopic whip. That would obviously give me a good chance to set up well for 10 meters. And then again, for radials, radials elevated just below the feed point, and then allowing them to droop back down on the ground. It sounds like a fairly simple modification to the setup that you would use just with the Pac-12 components and an optional extra long telescopic whip.
Yeah, so he uses a 25-foot whip that he bought from Chameleon. It's all like high, it's the brand name stuff. I don't know how much that whip costs, but that was an expensive one, 25-foot. I also have the 17-foot one, but if you only have the 17 and didn't add the Pac-12 extension, I think you max out at 17 meters for his off-center fed vertical, and with a 25-foot whip, you can get up to 20 or down to 20. Or, as I was hacking around with a couple of sections of the Pac-12 with the 17-foot whip and 20s back in reach. In fact, you might, I think I did the math once, there might be even a way to eke out 30, but now you're talking about putting a lot of whip up in the air. But anyhow, the other thing to just watch is that you do need to have a 18 to 24 inch section that's non-conductive so that you can get it up, the feed point up off the ground. Otherwise, you really haven't moved the feed point. So that was why I had that little piece of PVC pipe that I had the mirror mount. Was it mirror mount? Anyways, whatever it was, the type of mount that I had hooked up to it. Oh, no, I remember what it was. Vanya very nicely gave me a piece of machined bar stock that had a M10 threaded connection and a SO239 on the other side. Kind of like, think of a homemade mirror mount. He had a bunch of them made by one of his buddies at work in the machine shop, and he very kindly gave one to me. It's been very useful for my antenna projects, and I at the PDFs that Greg distributes, and it has a very good schematic view of the antennas, so it's a good reading as well. So as I said, fun antennas. They're all resonant, so I know you like resonant antennas. They are multi-band, but they're only one band at a time. You adjust, just like the Pac-12, you adjust it for the band you want and bring it into resonance.
Okay, I'm totally enthralled, but I don't know if the rest of the audience is, but I think I don't have any further questions at this point. I'll look for the posts on Discord. Yeah, lots of good reading for the long weekend. Thanks very much, Wade. And Larry, I'll let you pass it down, and we'll see if there's any more dialogue either on this topic or something completely different.
Yeah, okay, no problem, Mac. All right, actually, I'm going to skip over everybody. I know Bill came in there, but before I pick him up, is there any other check-ins for Friday night ZOE Ragchew? My call sign is Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo India. Come on in.
VA3 ZOE.
Greetings from Victor Echo 3, Victor Yankee Tango, Edward.
Okay, I'll skip down the list here. I'll pick up Bill. They're just getting himself some coffee there, so we'll bring him in first. And let's say, is anybody ZJC or VYT? Are you guys in and out, or are you going to listen for a bit?
VYT, listening.
You going to be around for a bit?
ZJC, I'll be listening until the end.
Gotcha. Okay, no problem. We'll bring in Bill then. VE3 EKJ, come on in, Bill. VE3 LBI, get your coffee.
VE3 LBI in the group. VE3 KJ returning. Yep, got it. Finished it. It's bubbling away in my tummy. Third one of the day. And, that's what keeps me going. That's fuel. That was interesting hearing about that portable antenna. I run a Challenger DX from a company called Gap as a base station antenna. It's pushing 30 feet high, but it's also an off-center fed vertical. It runs its feed line up inside, and it works 80 through, it actually has resonance on 6 or 2 with the angle sucks on those, but 80 through 10, no problem. And it does lots of different tricks. And it's a good way to deal with verticals. As you know, the thing with radials and trying to get it up off the ground, efficiency and everything, that all applies. And with half-wave type things, this thing's a natural half-wave on 20 meters and gets out great because being in the north end here, I got a lot of ground clutter, and so that gets the feed point about 16 feet up, where most of the radiation comes off from the middle of the antenna. That helps me out a lot. But I'm also all excited here. I got another old tube radio on the go. I'll be picking it up Sunday. And it's an old Philco Ford from 1942. It was made in Canada, which is important these days. Tubes are really old, 42s and 7A7s and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to getting it for my bed table because I like to fall asleep listening to a Buffalo station, and my house is aluminum siding. It's like living inside a Faraday cage. And modern radios, when it comes to sensitivity, they just suck, Larry. So give me one of the old-fashioned ones with an RF stage any day.
Well, you know what I did here, talking about stuff like that, Bill, I found a very simple antenna. I actually hooked a piece of wire off the back of my stereo to my hot air registers. It's a great antenna. It runs all through the house.
Yeah, that's an old trick. It's grounded, but still, it works after a fashion, but as they say, my problem is the house is completely aluminum sided. And so that makes it kind of difficult. I think I might see if I can sneak a wire outside somehow and it a treat. Let it sit in there, winter and summer. Maybe that would help, but some nights the Buffalo station would come through clear as a bell. I had a little clock radio that my late wife left me. And as I say, modern radios, the assumption is that everybody lives in a town where there's God knows how many different AM and FM stations. So sensitivity wasn't necessary. But in the old days, you know, up on Walton's Mountain, your nearest AM station might be 200 miles away. And so they just assumed that great sensitivity was necessary as a matter of course. And so that's why I prefer the old ones. Plus, they're beautiful.
No, absolutely, Bill. Excuse me. And I'm just going to drop down here and pick up Jason and Ed. We're getting close to the wrapping up time, so if you don't mind, I'll just drop down first.
Mais c'est à mon ami.
All right, next up we have Jason, VE3 ZJC. Come on in, Jason. How's things with you today, sir?
Hey, good evening, Larry, and everybody else on net. Doing all right. TGIF in every sense of the acronym. It's been a very, very long week. I did pitch in there when you were asking earlier about Amazon deals. As you know, my friend, I'll let everybody else know, the only Amazon deal I got this week was the meat grinder sausage stuffer. So at some point, hopefully in the upcoming weeks, I will try my hands at some homemade sausage. And for the tagging thing in Discord, yep, the server needs to be boosted for that. You need 3 boosts, so you're looking at $15 a month without Nitro in Discord to get that custom tag created for the HBO group. I have one for World of Warships, and my brother's got one too. And yeah, I noticed the other guys have waves gone back to VE3 here for the one that he had before. Anyways, nothing else from me. I will send it back to you and listen along for whatever's left. I'll let you get Edward there behind me. Thanks for doing this one, Larry. VE3 ZJC, back to net.
Okay, very good, Jason. Thanks for the information. Okay, so when are you getting ready to stuff?
I have no idea. I gotta go across the big smoke to visit my mom tomorrow. I gotta do some stuff for her, and I probably won't get into it this weekend. And then next weekend / Monday, I'm in the road, so it'll be probably November before I actually get time to sit down and figure out what I want to do with the smoker and the sausage.
I got you, no problem. Well, with the weather changing here, I'm not sure yet. I still want to get some that pork belly, but right now I actually been talking to the wife yesterday. She says, well, the weather's changed. I guess it's time to start making some bread and other things like cinnamon rolls and all kinds of stuff. So get the bread maker out. I used to actually grind my own meat. Actually, used to get it from Fortino's, and the one year we did about 30 pounds, and it was a little bit rough, even though we've got an electric one. So I gave up, and I told them, I said, you guys go ahead and ground it. I think it was like 10 cents more a pound or something. And they asked me what I'm using it for, and I told them for sausage. They said, okay, well, that's some fat for you too. So, but no, I gave up grinding my own meat. Just a little bit too much effort into it.
Well, don't disillusion me right off the bat, my friend. I will be a trooper and go through it at least the first 5 times I try it, because I'm that go big or go home kind of guy.
No, have fun, try it. Yeah, I like I say, we just found it easier to do it the other way. So, no, definitely give it a shot. I don't think the one you had sent me the picture of is a hell of a lot bigger than the one we've got. So you'll probably take less time doing it. And like I say, ours is small. Even the stuffer is small. But like I said, don't forget the vinegar. Wash it, vinegar in the water.
Absolutely. I relayed that to the missus about the natural casings, and she was like, well, why do you need to do that? And I just told her, just don't Google it, just trust me. I'm going to make you stuff, it'll taste fine, it'll be wonderful. Stop Googling things, because, yeah, just don't do that.
Exactly, Jason. All I know is it's not turn that milky color. Don't ask me why, but we've done it, and it turns out well. So, all right, let me pick up Ed here. VE3BYT, come on in, Ed. VE3LBI.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's getting ready for the special weekend, getting all the turkey ready and whatnot. I was listening to you guys for about the last 10 minutes before I checked in, and heard some of the chatting there about the antenna from that guy named Greg down there, KJ60R. I bought the Chameleon whips. I was going to mention, only because being a new ham, I kind of defer to the experts first. I say, I'm going to try the special stuff first, and then later on, when I know more, I'll buy cheaper stuff. That's kind of the way I go at it for now. And so I bought the Chameleon whip. I bought the 17-footer initially, and all I did with that was I just followed the guy's instructions on how to build the POTA antenna there. Laid it down in the backyard on the mast and measured out the sections that I needed to and created a little script sheet for myself. You can get the antennas now at Radio World with much less hassle than before. You had to buy them from Chameleon. And I know with Chameleon, every time they have a long weekend, they have a discount, but then by the time they add on the shipping charges from crap to Canada, it gets rather pricey. So you can get the 17-foot whip at Radio World for $112. A lot more than you'll pay for the Chinese stuff that you can figure out on your own for sure. Then there's the 25-foot whip. Just go to Radio World website and plug in SS-25 or SS-17. And order your Chameleon antenna, and you'll find it there. It's about $160 now to pick up at Radio World. They're very sturdy antennas, very sturdy whips, I gotta say, really high quality. You can't complain about the machining they did on those pieces of metal, that's for sure. You got your money's worth in that department, unlike the cheap Chinese stuff that'll break off the minute you bend it between your fingertips. So, yeah, it's a great antenna from that guy. However, I wanted to change the topic just briefly and ask Wade maybe if he knows any place that I can find something to read about the Arden network. I know you've mentioned it a couple of years ago when I was new and didn't know much about things. But my question about Arden really comes down to what practical thing can an average ham do with this thing? I read all the stuff that I find about, emergency communications and, monitoring smoke in forests and things like that. But what can an average guy do? Can I activate POTA with it or something? I don't know. Can I use it to get the QRZ and log my communications? Do you know of any practical things we can do with Arden? If not this week, then maybe next week or email. Thanks so much, and back to the net, VE3BYT.
Yeah, okay, no problem, Ed. Wade, VA3NCA, VE3LBI, any comment to that, or do you want to wait?
VA3LBI, VA3NCA, and VYT, actually, it's been a while since I checked in on those guys. The first time I looked into it, it was a group called Hamnet, but I think that one way or another they morphed into Arden. I think it's still a matter of custom firmware on consumer-grade Wi-Fi routers that take advantage of the fact that the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi range kind of overlaps a ham band. So as far as practical uses, I think there's a bit of a requirement for a sort of what they call a critical mass. You have to have enough people in your mesh to make it kind of worthwhile and useful. Otherwise, it's just kind of a fun little side experiment. And that's kind of where I got out of it. As I understand it, though, it's moved quite reasonably ahead with now supporting a bunch of Ubiquiti networking gear, which is fancy prosumer sort of grade networking stuff. And it supports all of that, including some really high gain directional antennas, so you can set up fairly long distance links. but if you don't have, again, if you don't have a lot of people in your area, meshing with yourself is no fun, so to speak. So I think the practical uses are limited if it's not in your area. But once it's there, you can use basically internet over ham radio frequencies. With one notable exception, there is going to be some complication involved with encrypting anything. Here in Canada, as long as we publish the encryption keys, that's one thing. So I don't know if that means you have to publish the private keys of your SSL cert that you use for it, or what you'd have to do, but you have to put some thought into that. But other than that, it's a fun project. Practicality, not sure. I haven't looked into it lately.
I noticed that up in Peterborough on the map, there's a whole whack of guys that seem to have done it, maybe half a dozen or more, and they're connecting as far as the Sega Beach. But over here, there's only one site, and it's up in Milton. And so nothing around the Golden Horseshoe otherwise. So what's the trouble? I'm wondering if I could actually use it to do something like. I don't particularly care if I logged into a site like QRZ without encryption. Like, who cares really? It's really no skin off my nose if somebody's listening to it. Wouldn't have to worry about that. Just need to find something practical that I can do with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it would be definitely pretty fun to be able to expand the mesh a little bit. So if you had some folks out in Milton or Peterborough that we could sort of get a point-to-point on, then you're sort of joining the people and the meshes, and the network expands in its usefulness with the number of nodes that are interconnected, right? So anything you can do to improve that certainly kind of helps. The other thing to be concerned about is not just the encryption of the traffic, but the encryption of your authentication. So when you're logging into QRZ, that's the part you want to protect, not necessarily the regular traffic. Potentially, depending on, it's not banking by any stretch, but you're still logging into your account with some encrypted token there. So, anyways, I think it's a fun little project. It hasn't bubbled up to the top of my pile lately because there's not many people close by that I could mesh up with. And I think the technology has moved beyond the WRT, the Linksys WRT router I have, and now you're getting into actually picking up, ubiquity stuff or something like that.
Okay, well, don't want to keep Larry from winding it up here. I guess that DDHN version before Arden, that one seems to have more sites around here, but it is kind of a slow network, I guess, with old Blue Linksys routers. Anyhow, I think I'll leave it at that for now. Larry, you want to take it back and VA3IMW?
Yeah, okay, thanks, Ed. Yeah, all right, yeah, maybe we'll do a wrap-up here a couple minutes after again. Unless we have any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for Friday night is ZOE Ragchew. My call is 9 Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo India. Come on in, final call. Okay, you're definitely not making a repeater. I got something, but I did not pick the whole thing up. Has anybody else copy that?
VA3NFG, Larry.
Gotcha. Now, Steve. Yep, okay, I got you in the log already. You're on the couch, your wife is feeding you grapes, and you're watching a movie.
Except it wasn't grapes. It was salted pretzels.
All right, Steve, no problem. You're in the log, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, you're not making a repeater very good, so relax and enjoy the movie there. Any other check-ins, final check-ins before we close it up for the ZOE Ragchew? Come on in. All right, we're running down the list to a 7-3. Wade, you're up. VA3MCA, VE3LBI, 7-3.
VA3LBI, VA3MCA, and the group, 7-3. Great net as always. Always something comes up to chat about. So good that this week was the same. Thanks for doing it, Larry, and everybody. Hope you all have a good Thanksgiving, and I'll catch you all down the log. VA3MCA. Back to you, Larry.
Okay, thanks. VA3IMW VA3LBI doing the 7-3.
All right. Thanks much for doing this, Larry. You certainly appreciate it. I'm sure that Bill and Edward still have more to get off their chest, both the ins and outs of the topics that they had opened up. So I'll be along for the ride and listening. Certainly interested to hear about the additional traffic modes for internet without internet. Anyways, thanks again, Larry. VA3IMW 7-3.
Where are we? VA3MHV, Mark, if you're still with us, we're just doing a 7-3 round, Mark.
Yeah, still here, Larry. Thanks for doing it. I'll say 7-3 to everybody else on the net. The answer to Wade's Amazon question, this Redivis, I did grab it on the Amazon Prime Big Deal, whatever it's called. It was a good deal. I did a little bit of YouTube research, and everything I saw was positive. It's a good entry-level, budget-minded radio with a lot of features, compact, and I'm pretty happy. I also grabbed a DC House 12 amp hour lithium. So I'll turn it back to you, Larry. And thank you for doing this one, VA3MHV.
Very good, Mark. Don't work too hard the weekend, eh? Enjoy. So I don't know what your plans are for Thanksgiving. Personally, ourselves, we have nothing going on. No turkey, no dressing, no cranberries, nothing. Just a regular weekend for us. We were supposed to go to the daughters, but things didn't quite turn out. All right. I got to see if Chuck's still there. I'll try that. VA3 ZJC, or no, sorry, TJZ. Chuck, are you with us still, or no? Sorry, I figured he's laying down or something. Chris, VA3WPG, we're doing a 7-3.
VA3WPG, yeah, good net tonight. As I mentioned before, antennas are kind of my favorite subject of the radio, and quite a heavily antenna-focused chat for the net tonight, so good on that. Just a quick question before we go. You mentioned something about heat registers connected, something for antennas. Could you just give a quick 10, 15-second recap of what you said there?
Yeah, my stereo system in the house here. It's in the basement, right? So if I want to listen to something on AM or FM, I just took the wire out of the back of it, just on a wire off, and hooked it up to my heat register. The heat register is like an antenna. It runs all through the house, and it works quite well. It picks up all the stations that I want to listen to.
Oh, okay, for the reception broadcast radio. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I thought that was something to do with ham radio, and that grabbed my interest. Oh yeah, no, makes perfect sense for the stereo. Okay, with that, nothing more for me. So 73, everyone have a good long weekend, I guess. And what do we got next on Saturday now? Well, I'll figure it out. Everyone have a good one. We'll catch you on the next net. VA3WPG.
Yep, as far as I remember, there's a net on Saturday and Sunday also. So, but okay, Bill, you're up. VE3EKJ, Bill, we're just doing a 7-3 round.
Okay, fine. I got nothing really to add. I just glad that there's some of us still around, and a little more awkward having to go into the ham shack to get into ZOE, but it is what it is. Since I'm not just a North Ender now, I'm a Easterner. And those of us east of the repeater's present location, we got a lot of problems getting in. And I'm used to being a lazy son of a gun and just flopped in front of the TV and, check into the nets there with a handheld. Can't do that anymore. I had to give up checking into the net last night, or the night before, because it was the Blue Jays' crucial game. I wasn't going to miss that. So anyway, 7-3 everyone. VE3LBI in the group. VE3EKJ.
Yep, no, well, Bill, listen, to be honest, straight out, it was very good for Terry, VE3IQL, to put that back up for us. So everybody appreciates it. He knows that. And unfortunately, it's not exactly where it was before by any means. But at least we have something to work off of. So it may be a little different, but it's still functionable. Let me see if Steve's still in there? VA3NFG, Steve, we're just doing a 7-3 if you're still with us.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm making it here, Larry, but if I have a 7-3 all and catch up to you next time, VA3NFG.
Okay, Steve, don't work too hard tomorrow. I know you got to go to work. Mark was telling us. So, all right, Jason, VE3 is JJC, VE3 LBI. We're just doing a 7-3 round, Jason.
Yep, still here, 7-3s to you, Larry, and everybody else on frequency. Thanks for doing it, my friend. VE3 is JJC. Back to that.
Okay, very good. The how's family okay?
It was 2 steps forward, 1 step back until today, where it's been a week and we're back at square one. And my brother is of 2 minds, and yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings.
All right, Jason, good luck with that. Hope everything straightens out. Ed, we're doing a 7-3 round. VE3, VYT, VE3 LBI.
Yep, still here. Hey, just had another thought here before closing. To get the 25-foot whip for that KJ60R design, you can use it with a put-up performer on 30 meters, and you can even use it on 40 meters if you add an extra 7 feet of radiator that you just hang off of the base of the antenna. Or, of course, you can get that 40-meter matching coil if you had one of those. But I thought it was great. I tried it with the 30 meters, and I was getting great performance with it. Anyway, everybody have a great weekend. Happy Turkey Day. Catch you all later. VE3 VYT.
Okay, thanks, Ed. All right, last call. Anybody else? Final call. Anybody else want to check into the Friday night ZOE Ragchew? Come on in, VE3 LBI. Okay, folks, that's a wrap. Thanks for everybody joining in again tonight. Like I said, I write down the call signs and names. You guys make the net with the conversation and what we talk about. And before I close up, I'd like to thank Terry from VE3IQL for uses as a repeater. With that, Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo India, I'll turn the repeater back over to normal use. 7-3. I'll be back probably in about 5 minutes.
That brings the stream to a close as well. 7-3s. That's how we say goodbye.